amazing Friday, June 11th. I've really missed you guys. I've missed the live streams. I've missed really being in front of the market. Been working very, very hard on, let me just share this out up here. So let me take this, copy this, and tweet it out on the other computer. So I have been working really hard on my CMT Level 2 exam. And if you guys saw my update video, then you know that unfortunately I did not take my exam on Wednesday. And it was not anything from my end. It actually had to do with the Proctor program and issues and connecting. Mercury's in retrograde. So, you know, it happens. Things happen with the computers, connections, redoing, starting over. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. I've got some red flags that I'm seeing in the market. So we got the red flags today. We're going to talk about the SPY. We're going to talk about the banks. We are going to talk about Bitcoin, the levels to watch for Bitcoin. And I am on Ticker Talker today at 1 o'clock for a shorter live stream. I am doing an amazing workshop tomorrow all about banks, history of banks, history of the regulations as well. And I'm going to put that in the chat. So I see that I've got a bunch of people here. So where are you guys tuning in from? Don't be shy. Come on into the chat. Oh, don't worry, Troy. You know what? Hey, I don't fight it, right? I do not fight when something is going wrong and all that good stuff. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the right screen. And there we go. So let me change this super quickly, guys. Desktop. Bear with me 1 second while I change the display. There we go. So you guys can see the link that I did just put in the chat. Hey, you're in Scottsdale, Arizona? Or is it Scottsdale? Was that a mistype? Welcome, MTETs. And I've missed you guys. Ashley, are you anywhere near MTETs? You guys are in Texas. I know it's a huge state. Hello, MTETs. Yes, and I've got to get my email out to you. I've just been swamped with the studying. So no worries on that end. I did not forget about you guys. Just wanted to give it full devotion when I sent it out to you guys. And welcome, Steve, from Detroit and Southern California. Nice Indo. Love the San Diego, Carlsbad area out there. So I have this up. How to profit from the imminent explosion evolution in global banking. It is happening tomorrow, June 12th at 12 p.m. If you're not able to log into it and be there live and ask questions live, it will be emailed out to you, so don't fret if you're not able to be there live. But I did want to put that out to let you guys know it's happening tomorrow. Timing is everything. We're going to talk about crypto networks that will be evolving in this new banking system. All right, let's look at the market. So today, a lot of great things, a lot of cool tools that I've really been utilizing from that CMT2 training. And right now we do have a big upward wedge that we started setting up on May 27th that we have been hitting this resistance line, the upper bound, for quite some time. And now it's starting to pull back. We've been really riding between the moving averages and up. And so if we drop below 421.80, watch out. We're likely going to be heading back down here to 416, if not even further down to this bottom support line, maybe even all the way back down to 412. 412 is a pretty influential level. Hello, Salvatore. Yeah, I know. You got to send me some chocolate, Salvatore. I love chocolate, but not while it's super hot because it's going to melt and bloom. Hey, Terry. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, Qs. Qs are hitting. Let's go to was it the Qs? No, I saw something else today that had a big print that was at the levels back from, I remember. I'll show you guys. where we might be going with the banks, timing of this bank presentation tomorrow. So excited, so excited. There's a big trade setting up in the stock market and also in the crypto world. So it's all about patience, right? When we're looking at this, let's look at the weekly as well. We almost have like a triple top setting up on the Qs up here. I know everyone's like, triple top? What are you talking about? But it really does look like we are hitting resistance again. Also note the volume. We had volume down here at the bottom, volume down here too on this day once we sold off. But since then, this is the weekly chart again, it has been stalling, right? Let's look at that for the SPY too. Big volume this day on the lower bounce. But other than that, we've really been dropping since the 1st of March, right? That's telling me that what is really happening, right? As we're going higher, less and less money is going in because there's less people interested in buying at these super high all-time highs. Hello, Suraj. Welcome. So keeping that in mind, let's also check out the Russell. So we can see over here that really the Russell, this has been trading within this rectangular box. You know what, on the daily, it comes all the way down here. On the weekly, I would bring it up to 218. So if we drop below 218, looking for a nice $12 correction, if not more, to the downside. So 218 minus 12 would bring us roughly down here to 205, 206 area. If we start to see that that's pulling back, look at this. We've had that descension as well, really high volume. What happened that week? We had a high, right? And we rebounded. Here we had a bit more volume as well. This week is higher than normal, and we are rejecting the upper resistance of this rectangle. I do like looking at it as a weekly chart because you can see, hey, this momentum really slowed down and we've gone sideways ever since 8th of February on the Russell. Yes, we've had a bigger range, right, of 12 points, but it's still sideways. That tells me that maybe we're in a distribution phase for the market and we really need to be aware and be cautious. I am more on the sidelines personally in the market because it feels, as we were saying in the Java pit, like a sloppy Joe market, right? You eat it and then it falls out and everything. Feels really sloppy. We also have the Dow Jones pulling back today. This 350, 348 strong resistance. We did have this block of consolidation and continuation move. Now we're topping off. We do tend to see that we are having a rectangle at the top, right? Another distribution, big volume on this candlestick, the 10th of May. Are we going to break down below 337? If we break down below 337, keep on watch, right? Where did we go back in 2020? We came all the way down here below the 425. We could be setting up for that big, massive 12-year cycle and correction in the market. The market is cyclical, more so in commodities than stocks, but each stock, each index tends to have its cycle. So when we're looking at this, we might see that we have that big 30 to 50% correction. And again, the volume minus, if we ignore these 2 weeks right here, has been descending since the 1st of March. So you have to be aware as well as a trader, what's going on with this volume, right? On balance, volume is a great indicator to throw on your chart, in my opinion, to give you signals. What's happening? Where is the volume going? Is the volume coming out of the market? Is the volume going into the market? Where is it flowing? Let's also look at the banks, right? So the banks today, this week, let's make this a daily on the right. So you see this big upward wedge, right? This, I made it from starting on the week of May 3rd, right? We're hitting that apex. And then just this week, I actually tweeted out, I said, watch the banks, watch those banks. We are below this major run up. And what's really cool, I can't wait for the presentation tomorrow, the workshop, all about banking and where we are going, because this is going to be wild and crazy times that we are getting into. This is that big trade that I've been talking about that's setting up. I know, B12 burger is my absolute favorite. if you guys live in the Montreal area or Laval, check out B12 burgers. They are my favorite for cheat. And today is cheat day. So I'm going to have a B12 burger for lunch. But looking at this, we've had the banks really surging higher ever since following this trend line, really since February of 2021, right? That's the weekly chart. Now, every time that we've tested it, once, two, we've actually tested it 10 times on the daily chart. The more times that you have a support, whether it's a trend line support, a moving average support, whatever is support, the more times that you have it hitting that support, the more influential it is when it breaks down. Now, remember I said I was going to tell you guys about a little dark pool print today, level to take note of. So let's look at it. Citigroup, right? Citigroup, where are we? Well, look at this. We topped out January 21st, of 2020. We just set a lower high for Citigroup and just had a big print. And guess what? We're at the bottom of the day, so we are below this big dark pool print. Do you see maybe we're going to see a cycle here? Let's look at this. Let's throw this on really quickly. Let's do some measurements. In cycle analysis, you're looking at the lows, right? So we're looking at here. I would put one maybe here, put one here, right? So that if we go and we look at lows, right? Maybe another one in here. We did this on the XLF too, remember when I was studying? So let's just measure these bars. Okay, so this one is 33 weeks, right? Let's go from here to here. Okay, 31, okay. Let's go from here to here. Actually, I should move that one over. Hold on, let's move this over one. That was actually the low. So 28 bars there, 26 bars, 19 bars. Let's move this puppy over here. So we move it from here to here. Let's see. 32 bars. So it looks like maybe 31 to 32 bars is going to be where that bottom is. So if we happen to go out further from here, let's move this over. So maybe November, we're going to see a massive bottom in the markets. When I was looking at XLF before, it looked like the 4th of July looked like it was going to be the absolute bottom. So keeping note that we are below the levels that we were at for the highs for Citigroup just before we had a crash. We've been starting to get big prints on banks. XLF is the bank ETF. We are down below an upward trend line that has been pretty strong. And now that next drop down, looking for 36.50, not immediately, right? It goes down, it bounces up, it goes down and bounces down. So right now we're maybe in a bit of a retracement today, and maybe we're going to have a bigger move down to maybe 37, maybe 40 cents, and then a little bit of a bounce, and then down to 36.80 maybe. That's where this will be at that time. But we have broken down from that 20 simple moving average right here that we did hold as support for a long time. That upward trend line also is broken down, and everything with the Fed monetary policy, it all goes hand in hand. Another reason why Dow Jones is down is in relation because there's 30 stocks in there, and 2 of them I believe are banks, maybe more. I have to double check on that. Maybe Visa and MasterCard are in there too. Let's look at them really quickly. Actually, I have it right here. So we have Goldman Sachs Bank. Honeywell's not there anymore. Interesting. JP Morgan, rejected by Amazon for their credit card services and being replaced. The stock is not liking that. American Express, right? Looking to see. So we have 3. So that means 10% of the Dow Jones index is tied to banks. So if the banks start to pull back, the Dow Jones is going to pull back as well. And that, Visa's in XLF as well. So looking at that, we're going to likely see a drawdown in the Dow Jones, drawdown in the banks, and there could be more happening with the G7 summit that is going on. But looking at that and seeing that a lot of the big banks are starting to maybe top out, maybe correct a little bit, is raising the red flags for me. Banking systems in general tend to be fairly stable. Why is all this money flow coming out of the banks, coming out of the indexes? The big question is why? What is the other reason as to why potentially the major dark pool traders of the market are taking money out of the market? That is the really big question. Also, let's flip over to Bitcoin as well for today. Oops, not XLF, sorry guys. Crypto list. USB, look at that, topping out very similar to where we were. Look at that, back in 2020. All right, let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, the really big level to keep on watch, I like to look at it over here on the weekly because it does give us pretty strong vision, is going to be 32,500 and then 30,000. That 30,000 mark is going to be fairly influential. In fact, I have it on my 425 EMA on that 24-hour chart. If we drop below that, likely the sellers are going to come in. This is 18 million, right, in the float of coins, and would likely see a bigger drop. If we were to drop all the way back down to where we tended to bottom out back here, we'd be looking all the way a drop down to 18,300 for Bitcoin. Nice $12,000 drop, if not even further. But we do have that as a bit of a support level right here that we might see that we come back down and correct to. And look, it is just above this trend line, which is roughly 16,500. So maybe we're going to see a big correction. Remember that we are going through flood season in China. 65% of the miners for the Chinese, 65% of the miners for Bitcoin are in China. Massive flooding is happening. There were 90 rivers that were at flood level just a week ago or so. 425 ASIF, 425 EMA. For everyone that is just joining, I'm going to go ahead and put that link in again in the chat, and I will put it down below as well for the workshop that I'm doing tomorrow, all about banks, the evolution, and how to profit from it. And so it's really, really cool presentation. I'm really excited and energized, as you guys can tell, to present that. All right, let's go back to the list, and we can look at Pack B. Yeah, you knew that, Asif. All right, so Pack B today. The weekly chart, yeah, it's looking good, and it looks like it might be retracing a little bit here. That 30 price level looks pretty hard to break out from, but after 30 I would look for 31 to 70. Thank you, Asif. Whoops. Asif is reminding everyone, if you guys would hit that like button. If you like the live stream, please hit the like and subscribe and share with your friends, as this knowledge is free, so you guys can teach others about trading as well. On the majors list as well, we've got Microsoft up on the weekly, correcting back a little bit today. Remember, this is the end of the week. Today is the end of the week, so it's pretty influential for those weekly charts. What is going on with the volume? We're a little bit higher. Is this going to be a upward thrust day and we pull back and we close back down below by 253? We might see that happen. Are they going to be taking money out of the market at the end of the week? We could see that. Also, there might be further announcements that come out. Supposedly, there's some other things going on. We do have that G7 summit that's happening over in Cornwall, England, which is really cool. Let's see if it's St. Michael's in Cornwall. Let's see if I can pull up an image for you guys. It's really cool. It's really like a castle on the rock. And it's pretty amazing. There's also Saint Michel in France. Oops, that's not what I meant to hit. Which is really amazing as well. But let's see if we can do picture really quickly. So this is the different one though. This is Saint-Michel, France versus Saint-Michel. Here we go. This is really cool. Versus Saint-Michel in, let's see if I can pull it up really quickly for you guys. So here we go. Here's the two castles on the hill, Castle Rock. So this one over here is the one in England, and it's a little more different than the one in Normandy, France. I have a friend that you can walk out to both of them, obviously a bit protected because they are islands. Oh no, I don't want to join that. But two very cool castles. This one's a little bit smaller, and you've got all of these little mini houses there. So very cool to see that is a castle on a rock right there. Hello, Anton, welcome. Okay, let's go back over to Amazon, back to regularly scheduled. So Amazon, we saw that it had a lot of resistance right here at 32.50. We've broken up, and on the weekly, we tested this trend line, right? So this trend line was set up from the lows back here, low and low, and it's now testing it from below. So are we going to see that we reject, and this might pull back down below 32.50? That is that really strong level that I'm watching. You can see a lot of volume weighted anchor prices here. And we also heard in the news today that Amazon might be breaking apart according to government regulations. And what always sticks up in the back of my mind is Bezos saying, you know, I could see Amazon going bankrupt one day. That was in December, and all of his shares that he sold. Also Facebook, that we have Zuckerberg really selling every single day. If we go to form for Facebook, then we go look at this, and we will see pretty much every single day we see that Bezos has been selling, and raises a red flag to me, right? Look at all of these sells every single day. I wonder how many shares he still owns of Facebook. I should see if I can find that out. XRP is at 14% share. The global financial market size is 87 trillion according to the World Economic Forum, and 87% is what ISO 20022 will manage. Very nice. Very nice, Anton. I like it. I like it. Yes. There's going to be, and it's more than just XRP, Anton. That's what I'm covering tomorrow. There's more than just XRP involved in this. And I'll go into it all tomorrow. It's going to be an hour and a half where I really just cover the banking system and where we're going with the crypto space in the banking system. I've got to keep in mind what time it is, 12:45. All right, so AMC was on my list as a potential long today. Let's go to a 24-hour over here and a 45-minute on the right. So you can see we had this parabolic curve and it broke down. We are in a downward trend. It has corrected a little bit today as well. Never really being able to hold above 43.25. I don't know why they're different over here as to here, but maybe I use this one for my drawings for today. Wish as well was another one for potential long and a fade correcting back down. BlackBerry as well seems like, you know, every time I see this for a low float, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of somebody's hand, right? What would that be? That's, you don't want to be caught on this side because then that's just really the middle finger that's coming back to you. We also have CLNE, clean energy. Looked like it might want to continue to move to the upside today, and it did end up pulling down. American Airlines had a nice setup for a run continuation to the upside to those moving averages, but it did pull back on the day. And then we had ORF that was a major short. Look at the run up yesterday, a little bit of a bounce today. And if we close below 850, looks like it would like to fill that gap back down to 560. Likely the shorts are wanting to get out today, not holding them over the weekend. Lower float with 24.5 million. VRTX, another one that had a bit of a gap fill today after the big drop down after hours. Bit of those shorts squeezing up. CVAC as well was another one. that bounced off of the low. So when we have such major extremes, sometimes we will see that they do rebound from that low, from the gap, and fill the gap. Otherwise, it'll just be a gap and crap, right? So here we have Adobe as well. Last one on my list for a potential long. If you guys are interested in my list, you can get it via my website or at tickertalker.com. I do have an abridged version that's $20 a month for alerts, for trade setups, long and short, for 5 stocks and 3 indexes. So 16 different trade setups for $19.99 a month. Super affordable. All right, let's look at Fubo for Salvatore and Amarin and Zine. Okay, so Fubo, I like it on the daily. I like the way that it bounced, but if I were to take this to the long side, then I would look for it to end strong on the day. Basically, ASIF that it's not able to hold support and it just continues dropping for the day. All right, so Zine looks like a cup and handle type setup. I like this, but I'm not into pharmaceuticals. I like the chart though, but I'm not really into pharmaceuticals. In my opinion, it would need to close above 575, 580 for this to be a swing potential for me. But it does, I do like this rounded bottom and then a bit of a handle breakout, but that 575, 580 needs to really break. Let's look at Amarin. Yeah, I'll look at that for you, Jacob. So Amarin, this is pharmaceuticals. I'm not into pharmaceuticals, but it does look like it's hit a resistance point at that $5. So it would need to break above $5, and volume is dropping here, so potential for a reversal. Yeah, let's check out Twinkie. That was my call out with Angela Miles last week. FSR, Fisker. So Fisker pulled back to the moving averages. I like it, looking for a continuation move. Let's check the depth right here from here to here, $7.40. So I would be looking for this rough target heading up to $25 for Fisker from here. Let's look at Zoom, and then I'm going to have to run after Twinkie, Hostess Brands. Zoom, very nice, moving to the upside. Would look for this to close strong on the day, and we do have, it looks like more of a rim area right here of 339. So let's check that depth. $55, we'll call it. All right, $3.95 as a rough target. I'm going to cut it off at Twinkie, guys, because I have to run for my setup, or Hostess Brands, I should say. Yeah, so I like this. Let's look at Twinkie on Twinkie. It's funny. You can see this is where I measured it out for my presentation with Angela Miles on Business First AM. And sure enough, it came back. Look at how it hit that 1580, which was once a resistance, flipped to be support, and looking for that continuation. What I don't like is this really super high volume candle right here. It would need to close up above 1650 for that to really scream higher. Let's look at it on the weekly, but it does look like it's primed for all-time highs if it can break above 1720, which is likely why it ran up to that level and people saw it as a high from the past and it sold off. All right. So I thank you guys for joining me today. I have missed you, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And it makes me want to work better to be a better and technical analyst of these stock charts. If you have time tomorrow and if you are interested, please come and join me for my workshop that I will be doing all about the banking system. Let me pull it back up over here. The link is in the chat. It's also it will be in the description down below, right here, of how to profit from the imminent explosive evolution in global banking. So I will see you all on Sunday. If I don't have my exam scheduled, I'll see you all Sunday, regularly scheduled at 1:30. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, and have an amazing weekend. Watch out for those red flags of the market.